Hello everybody, I'm back once again with another book review, and today I'm going to be reviewing Killer Koala Bears from Another Dimension. And yes, that title is just so glorious, isn't it? It's written by P.A. Douglas. It was released in February 16th, 2013. This review's a bit late because actually I finished reading this book about a week ago, and I was gonna make a video review, but due to a mixture of busyness and laziness, I just never got around to it. And I figured it wouldn't be fair for me to review it after like quite a bit of days have passed since I read it, so I decided to reread this one again. And I just finished it, this morning, and now I'm actually gonna make my review for it. Okay, so I'm just gonna read the synopsis and just do my usual thing. Jonah Reed and her boyfriend, Tim Bortman, use mystical stones to open up portals in the fabric of time and space, opening a gateway to an alternate reality. When savage humanoid visitors invade Lewisburg, West Virginia, Jonah and Tim fight their way past overwhelming odds to leave the town, but find a dome of energy that have them trapped. Their only hope is to return to the woman who gave them the stones and hope she has the power to save the town. It's a race against time as the invaders increase in numbers. Will anyone survive the slaughter? Okay, so I'm sure you can get from this glorious title and cover as well as the synopsis what this book's about. Just giant about giant koala bear humanoid creatures just butchering people. And he says right here, sorry about the glare, but it says kill koala bears from another dimension is a fast-paced survival of the fittest grunge fest. And I would say that sums up quite nicely because this book is incredibly fast-paced and it's also incredibly gory, and there's doesn't what is it? I believe he said like doesn't pull any punches because this book it just opens with Tim and Jonah, the boyfriend girlfriend, because I use this term a little loosely because they said themselves like I guess we're boyfriend girlfriend, they have a lot of problems and they never officially said. It just seems like they're just sort of together because they have some of the same interests in this small West Virginia town because they're into all this like goth, creepy stuff, and like they like heavy metal and scary movies, while this town they're not really into any of that kind of stuff. But anyways, one day Tim, he got these like magic stones. He's like throwing to someone's property because he thinks it'll open a portal to another dimension. Because he's hoping to use that portal, like so him and Jonah, although he's mainly just concerned about himself, they can use it to leave leave that shithole of the town, his words. Well, it seems like after throwing all the stones, nothing works. They even gave it a couple minutes, and just nothing seems to happen. So Jonah gets impatient, starts yelling at him. They start arguing, and then they just leave. They decide to go back to town. Well, by the time they start leaving, something does start happening. And as you could probably guess, a portal opens, and these, lovely little creatures show up. And there's like an old man who lives in that property, like he's like a drunk old man who lives on the outskirts of town. He's basically these kill koala bears' first victim, and it goes in quite graphic detail about how he gets killed. And it's also quite, I would say that it's actually very well written, But and I guess something else I should mention. There's another character named Frank. He works at a recreation center as a janitor, and seems like it's another really boring day at work. But then most strange things starts happening, and then he gets a call from his girlfriend telling him that these creatures are trying to break into their apartment. So he decides to go race home and try to get to her. And then the book. This is one part I want to mention is that at this point in the book, it goes into basically a slaughter where, I guess it takes the point of view of certain characters, like these characters that they're just introduced, and then like within like 2 or 3 pages they're dead. But basically, it's just going house to house and telling about how these people are getting butchered. First is a widowed mother of twin boys, about how like her kids wake up in the middle of the night telling her that there's a bear man creature outside. She tells them that's nothing, but then she quickly realized that they're telling the truth. and it goes into quite graphic detail about what happens to the family. And then it goes into another group of people about how they get butchered, and then one of them even sees like just like the whole neighborhood is like a war zone where they hear like gunfire, they see people running, getting butchered, and screaming, all these other things, and then just looks like, again, then you just like mentioned about some like, oh, at some point there's like a husband and wife, they'll argue about finances, and then, well, they get butchered, although the husband does take out a few of them trying to defend his wife, that sort of thing. And as I keep saying, yeah, this book doesn't pull any punches and it's very gory. So each time these people get killed, it goes in incredibly graphic detail. How they just a lot of times it seems like these creatures, they enjoy causing pain. So there's even some points they eat people like alive, while they're still screaming. Okay, so yeah, I guess now you can get the whole gist of this book, the gist type of way. As they say, anyways. And I'll say, yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I gave it a 5 out of 5 on Goodreads, although I would say that this is my problems with like giving a 1 out of 5 rating, is that this is definitely not a masterpiece of a book. It's, I mean, it's obviously quite trashy. It's just a creature feature kind of thing, where you get like all this, blood and guts and slaughter. But I would say the reason I gave it a 5 out of 5 is because I had a ton of fun reading it. And it comes in at 196 pages, so it's a pretty easy read. I mean, like, it's a pretty short read and it's also a pretty easy read, just how it's all structured. You're just gonna be like, blazing through the pages. So I would say that, yeah, highly recommended, and I definitely do want to check out, this author, like more of his work, although first I need to read my huge backlog of books. So yeah, this is a pretty short video, but yeah, again, this is a pretty, I mean, it's a short book, and it's also a pretty simple one, so I figured, yeah, I guess it's only fitting. But anyways, I'll see you guys next time for my next book review, and hopefully it'll come in much more, quick manner. So until then, take care.